Hey folks, gear up because this winter is set to deliver challenges unlike anything we've faced before. If you thought last year's grocery trips were rough, brace yourself for a whirlwind that's driving up costs and stressing supply chains to their breaking point. Experts are raising a red flag right now, highlighting that inflation, unprecedented weather chaos, and global logistical issues are all playing their part in this fiasco. The signs are everywhere. The U.S. Department of Agriculture recently reported that crop yields in key states plummeted by a staggering 20% due to relentless droughts and unexpected frosts. Meanwhile, the Food and Agriculture Organization reports a jaw-dropping 32% global food price surge since 2023. These aren't just numbers, they're a desperate call to action as families brace for the impact. But that's just the start. Energy costs are climbing sharply, scaling up the expenses for everything from transportation to processing and storage. Farmers are also feeling the pinch, with fertilizer shortages pushing their costs up by a whopping 45%, leading to a bite out of agricultural outputs. According to the World Bank's October 2024 update, food inflation is outrunning overall inflation in more than 60% of countries worldwide, including right here in the U.S. Throw in significant labor shortages and mounting geopolitical tensions, and we have a complex puzzle resulting in empty shelves and stark price hikes on staples. For those planning to stack up on winter necessities, it's time to rethink that strategy. The Farmer's Almanac is predicting a relentless winter for much of the U.S., with bone-chilling temperatures and heavy snowfalls. This isn't just a cold snap, it's a serious warning about potential supply chain hiccups, delayed deliveries, and looming food shortages. Today we're zeroing in on 8 grocery products that are set to become not only essential, but truly priceless this winter. Start preparing right now, because the wait-and-see game might just leave you frozen in your tracks later. Stick around to uncover what you need to secure before the storm hits. Number 1. Flour. Imagine making bread, pasta, pancakes, or pastries without it. Unthinkable, isn't it? As we ride into this winter season, flour may start to feel less like an everyday grocery item and more like a precious commodity. The global wheat production, the very heart and soul of the flour industry, is facing major challenges. Severe droughts, particularly in the United States and Canada, 2 giant agricultural powerhouses, have drastically cut wheat yields by a staggering 35% in 2020-24. This agricultural crisis has reverberated through the flour industry worldwide. Compounding the issue, geopolitical tensions have taken their toll as well. The conflict in Ukraine has significantly disrupted one of the globe's largest wheat exports, pushing prices into an upward spiral. Flour prices have already climbed 22% this year, and that's just the beginning. Experts are cautioning consumers to brace themselves for an additional 15 to 20% hike by January. The rising costs aren't solely due to wheat shortages, though. Packaging expenses are contributing to the crunch. With paper prices soaring and energy costs through the roof, the overall cost of production is seeing an unprecedented spike. Brands we've come to rely on, like King Arthur and gold medal names synonymous with quality, remain on the shelves, but we're seeing them transform into what feels more like luxury items. Flour isn't merely a component in a recipe, it's a crucial survival tool. It's about stretching meals, baking your own goods, and having some control over your food budget, vital when commercially prepared foods are becoming increasingly unattainable. Without flour in our grasp, those homemade comforts and economical meals could become an echo of the past. So, what can you do to safeguard yourself against these rising costs? Start by stockpiling wisely. Buy strategically and store your flour in airtight containers to give it a longer shelf life. This way, you're preparing for a future where baking a simple loaf of bread might feel like a luxury reserved for special occasions. It's time to consider flour not just as a kitchen necessity, but as a precious resource to be cherished. Better to stock up now than to find yourself facing sky-high prices down the line. In a time of inflation and economic uncertainty, it might seem incredible to think of a bag of flour as a prized possession. Yet, as the situation unfolds, having your pantry stocked with this culinary staple will feel like a little victory against the storm. Remember, in the rapidly shifting landscape of global food supplies, flour might just become the most valuable item on your grocery list this winter. Coming in at number 2, we have a household favorite and kitchen staple: potatoes. These humble tubers have long been celebrated for their versatility and nutritional value, being key ingredients in countless American dishes. But this season, the beloved potato is becoming significant not only for its culinary uses but also because it might soon be a rare commodity on grocery shelves. Why the sudden alarm around potatoes, you ask? It all starts with the fields of Idaho, acknowledged as the heartland of America's potato production. Unfortunately, this year has been disastrous for farmers, with harsh droughts and unexpected frost dealing a heavy blow to potato yields. We've seen a staggering reduction of yields by as much as 25%, a number alarming in any agricultural sector but particularly concerning for a staple this in demand. And Idaho isn't alone. Our northern neighbors in Canada, who also supply a hefty share of potatoes to the U.S., are battling the same grim scenario. Crops there have experienced similar devastation due to adverse climatic conditions. These natural obstacles are compounding an already challenging year for agriculture, with soaring costs of essentials like fertilizer and transportation. Fertilizer prices alone have jumped 45% due to a string of global shortages impacting availability and cost. As a direct result, the wholesale cost of potatoes has already leaped 17% since early January, with analysts predicting a further swell in price of 20 to 30% by December. Quickly doing the math, those family-sized bags of russets you casually picked up for $5 last winter could leave your wallet lighter by as much as $8 or $9 by the time holiday feasts roll around. And this isn't even tackling the issue of dwindling availability. The crisis isn't confined to fresh potatoes either. The frozen potato market, encompassing your favorite fries, hash browns, and tots, is taking a hit from delayed processing and rising energy costs. If potatoes hold a cherished place in your pantry or your holiday menu, now might be the time to take action. Consider stocking up on fresh potatoes while they're available, or exploring long-term storage options like dehydrated or freeze-dried products. The implications of this potato predicament extend beyond just price increases. It's a shakeup that forces us to rethink our grocery shopping habits and prepares us for potential supplies challenges ahead. As we brace ourselves for the winter months, it's clear that potatoes, a seemingly basic foodstuff, are walking a tightrope. So, when you sit down to enjoy a steaming bowl of mashed potatoes or a crispy side of fries, remember the journey those potatoes have taken to reach your plate. With the landscape being what it is, let's appreciate these tubers while we can, making sure our pantries are stocked sufficiently, regardless of what the coming months may bring. Watch out for those rising prices, and get ahead of the shortage curve before your baked potato carries a price tag more loaded than its toppings. Number 3, onions. Onions, those unassuming kitchen champions, are about to become the ultimate luxury item this winter. Typically overshadowed by flashier produce, onions hold an irreplaceable role in the culinary world. Known for their potent flavor-enhancing properties, onions are the foundation of countless recipes. But now, their value extends beyond taste, reaching into the realm of nutrition. Packed with vitamin C, antioxidants, and other compounds, they are crucial for heart health and boosting immunity, something we'll all be relying on as the temperature drops. But here's a plot twist that no one saw coming. Onions are poised to turn from humble pantry staples into luxurious commodities. Why, you ask? Due to a potent cocktail of failed harvests and an insatiable global appetite. One of the world's major onion producers, India, has been struck by catastrophic floods caused by relentless monsoons, decimating about 30% of their usual harvest. And that's not all. California, responsible for a hefty portion of the U.S. Onion supply has been battling severe droughts, slashing crop yields by about 25%. Compounding this crisis are strict export restrictions in vital onion-producing regions, which have triggered a dramatic 40% hike in global onion prices in mere months. We've already seen the effect at our local markets, with U.S. retail onion prices jumping a steep 18% compared to last year. So brace yourselves, because that bag of onions you once breezed past for $2.50 might soon dent your wallet for $1.45 if they're even available. What does this mean for your culinary creations? Onions are critical for the depth and richness they bring to winter's heartiest meals. Think of the soups, stews, and sauces you love. Without them, your dishes might end up tasting flat and uninterestingly one-dimensional. But all is not lost. A savvy shopper foresees the need to stock up. Grab fresh onions now while you can, but also explore alternative ways to maintain your supply, such as dehydrated or freeze-dried ones. These alternatives can be your kitchen's secret weapons, preserving the essence of onions without worrying about shortages. Act now before the crunch. Waiting until onions disappear from shelves will leave you scrambling for alternatives, and trust me, you don't want to experience a winter dinner devoid of this essential ingredient. Onions are like the director of a flavor orchestra, guiding each note to create a culinary symphony. Don't let your meals lack harmony this cold season. Make a savvy move now so your recipes can continue to strike the right chord all winter long. Number 4, eggs. When you think of daily essentials, eggs probably top your grocery list, but what if I told you that eggs are about to become as coveted as your grandma's secret cookie recipe? Yup, you heard it right, those humble little ovals of protein are on the verge of transforming from breakfast staples to haute cuisine status. Let's dive into why these power-packed wonders are about to cost you more than just your morning coffee fix. First, let's talk about why eggs are a necessity. They're not just protein bombs. These nutrient-dense gems are rich in choline, crucial vitamins like B12, and essential amino acids. From bolstering muscle strength to nourishing your brain, eggs have been the unsung heroes in our diets. They've been quietly supporting your daily hustle without demanding much applause or a hefty price tag. So what's changed? Here's the scoop. The poultry industry finds itself in dire straits, and we're not just clucking around here. This year's double whammy of a crisis featured avian flu outbreaks of catastrophic proportions, wiping out over 58 million birds in the United States alone. This devastation has left more than farmers in despair. It's choked our egg supply to a mere trickle. And while the supply has shriveled up faster than a backyard puddle in July, the demand hasn't waned one bit. Couple that with skyrocketing feed costs thanks to relentless droughts in the heartland where corn and soybean fields have suffered immensely. As a result, feed prices soared by more than 30% in 2024, making raising chickens as costly as dining out at a fancy steakhouse. And let's not forget the rising energy costs that impact everything from farm operations to transportation. Hold on to your wallets because the USDA projects egg prices will surge another 20 to 25% by early winter, with current inflation already kicking them up by 18% compared to last year. You might think, I'll just switch to powdered or liquid eggs? No biggie. But think again, these alternatives are riding the same price hike roller coaster due to shared raw material shortages and increased production costs. Picture this: by January, the modest dozen in your shopping cart might actually cost more than a porterhouse steak. So what's the savvy shopper to do? It's time to strategize. You could start by stocking up now. Yes, eggs can be frozen, or consider investing in long shelf life options like dehydrated eggs. Sure, these might not replace the pure bliss of cracking a fresh shell, but when December rolls around, rationing scrambled eggs might feel like you're living through the Great Depression. So next time you're navigating those aisles, don't just think about what eggs cost today. Consider how much they could cost tomorrow. In this looming winter, eggs might just become the precious gems of your pantry. Remember, while price hikes are unpredictable, preparing ahead is not. Stock up, store wisely, and stay ahead of the eggflation. 5. Rice. Imagine a future where rice, once the quintessential affordable staple, transforms into an elusive luxury item. It's not just a far-off scenario, it's rapidly becoming our reality. Whole grain rice, whether brown, black, or red, is on the brink of becoming a highly sought-after commodity due to shrinking global supplies and expanding demand. The leading rice exporting nations on the global market, such as Thailand, India, and Pakistan, are currently grappling with severe environmental challenges. Catastrophic monsoons and water shortages are ravaging these regions, slashing rice harvests by as much as 40%. Let that sink in. Nearly half of what typically would be a major food supply is vanishing. For billions who rely on rice as a dietary staple, this spells disaster. Compounding these issues are steep increases in transportation and milling costs, culminating in a projected 25% surge in rice prices by December. For many, whole grain rice is not just another pantry item, but a crucial source of nutrition that offers complex carbohydrates, fiber, magnesium, and selenium. In times of need, its shelf stability and nutritional profile turn it into a powerhouse for sustenance. So why should you care? Because brands you've come to trust, like Lundberg and Mahatma, may still line the shelves today, but the clock is ticking. Soon, the same bag you buy today might empty your wallet tomorrow. As rice edges closer to becoming a privilege rather than a customary purchase, preemptive planning is paramount. Skipping the opportunity to stockpile now might lead to regret once scarcity strikes. For consumers, this is a wake-up call. With rice potentially becoming scarce and pricier, evaluating your grocery purchases needs a strategic rethink. Consider this: when rice turns into an item you can barely afford, Those who foresaw the shift and prepared will be miles ahead. Don't wait for prices to skyrocket and availability to dwindle. Act now while supplies last. In retrospect, this isn't just about hoarding essentials, it's about securing peace of mind in uncertain times. Preparing for disruptions in supply chains has never been more crucial. Being proactive can shield you from market volatility and the impending challenges that threaten food security globally. Number 6. Cheese. Hold on to your hats, cheese lovers, because cheese, a culinary icon in America, is transforming from a familiar favorite into a luxurious delight this winter. This isn't merely about indulging in the tartness of a sharp cheddar or the buttery smoothness of a creamy brie. It's about recognizing cheese's impending elevation in both status and price as we navigate a tumultuous economic landscape. Traditionally a comfort food and a nutrition powerhouse filled with calcium, protein, and essential fats, cheese is witnessing a cost surge, sending shockwaves through grocery aisles far and wide. Behind the curtain of this price hike is an intricate web of challenges confronting the dairy industry. Let's break it down. We've seen a staggering 40% rise in feed costs, putting dairy farmers in a vice grip as they battle to keep their operations afloat. Add to this a labor shortage that's pushing wages through the roof, and you have a perfect storm brewing. As if that weren't enough, the relentless heat waves scorching the Midwest have delivered a crippling blow to milk production, causing a crushing 15% drop in yield just this year. And that's not all. Cheese production itself is a voracious energy consumer, requiring significant electricity and gas inputs. With energy costs climbing by 20%, the financial strain is gnawing into profit margins, further extrapolating the cost escalation to consumers. Imagine this: your usual block of cheddar, once priced at a reasonable $4 per pound in 2023, could soon be burning a hole in your pocket at $6 or more. Even mentioning specialty cheeses can make your wallet wince. It's not just soaring prices that will catch your attention. Cheese shelves are becoming increasingly sparse. European imports are dwindling owing to unprecedented droughts and energy crises on the other side of the Atlantic, while domestic producers are forced to slash their output to contend with rising expenses. Even major household names like Kraft and Tillamook are doing their utmost to stay stocked, but the reality is stark. Smaller players in the cheese game are already feeling the heat, leading to diminishing selections on the shelves. But cheese isn't merely a topping you sprinkle over pasta or a snack that fills the hunger gap between meals. In these trying times, it serves as a versatile ingredient, capable of stretching meals and augmenting their nutritional value. It's a kitchen staple that can transform the simplest of dishes into something flavorful and fulfilling. So as the cold winds of winter approach, consider this your cue to stockpile your favorite cheeses. Fill your fridge and freezer with blocks, shreds, and slices, creating a delicious arsenal against the encroaching price hikes. Because soon, even a simple, gooey grilled cheese sandwich, with all its melty goodness, might become an indulgence reserved for special occasions. Don't be caught unprepared. Get ahead of the cheese game and keep your pantry full. Number 7. Coffee. Whether you consider it a comfort drink or a vital part of your daily routine, coffee is about to skyrocket in value, and not just because of the warmth it provides during those chilly mornings. If you thought your daily cup was invincible, think again. The global coffee market is facing turbulent times, and the storm is brewing larger than ever before. The comfort of sipping coffee is met with daunting financial predictions, as this beloved beverage stands at the crossroads of multiple challenges. Coffee isn't merely a drink for many, it's an essential energy booster, a morning ritual, and for some, even a necessity. Yet this cherished habit is on the verge of transforming into an expensive ritual, as forces within the global coffee industry exert unprecedented pressure. Brazil, the powerhouse of global coffee production, has been hit hard. The country recently endured a punishing combination of severe droughts followed by rare and unexpected frosts. This natural calamity has severely impacted the Arabica coffee bean yield, cutting anticipated production by a staggering 35% this year alone. But Brazil isn't the only player facing difficulties. Vietnam, which is a major supplier of Robusta beans commonly found in instant coffee, grapples with its own set of challenges. From extreme weather conditions to rising labor costs, Vietnam's troubles are compounding the strain on global coffee supply chains. The complexities don't end there. Even getting coffee to your local store has become an ordeal. Shipping and transportation costs have ballooned by 40%, a consequence of persistent supply chain bottlenecks plaguing industries worldwide. As a direct result of these compounding issues, coffee prices in the United States are already 20% higher than last year, and experts predict an additional hike of 25 to 30% by the start of 2025. So what does this mean for you, the devoted coffee lover? The $10 bag of beloved beans you cherish could soon become a $15 luxury. Your go-to coffee shops will also feel the pinch. Imagine paying $6 for a simple latte you might just have to. While brands like Folgers and Starbucks remain available, there's no room for complacency. The current trajectory spells out a sobering future where your next coffee fix could become an indulgence rather than a given. What's a proactive coffee enthusiast to do, you ask? Stockpiling beans could be wise, but be sure to properly store them by vacuum sealing for longevity. Alternatively, investing in freeze-dried instant coffee can ensure you'll have a caffeine fix on hand for months to come. Being prepared now means you'll avoid that bitter taste of regret when coffee shelves start looking scarce, or when a simple home-brewed cup feels like a splurge. Number 8, bread, the rising cost. Get ready to clutch your grocery list tighter because bread, the staple that graces our tables in countless forms, is on the verge of becoming an unexpected luxury. As one of the top indispensable grocery items, bread is taking center stage this winter in an alarming twist of events. It's not just about your gourmet sourdough or that premium multigrain loaf you've grown fond of. Even the most basic sandwich bread is becoming a big-ticket item, threatening to shake the very foundation of your budget. Bread has traditionally been the economical choice for families striving to stretch their meals, packing lunches, preparing hearty breakfasts, or simply serving it alongside dinner. However, the current inflation storm is transforming bread into a symbol of the relentless price rises hitting household staples. So, why is this happening to everyone's beloved pantry essential? Let's dive into the wheat crisis and other contributing factors reshaping our shopping carts. This year has been nothing short of a catastrophe for wheat production in North America. Both the United States and Canada, prominent figures in the global wheat export scene, have faced a staggering 30% decline in wheat output. These dramatic losses result from extreme weather conditions, where persistent droughts and soaring heat waves have relentlessly battered fields. On the other side of the globe, geopolitical tensions add fuel to the fire, with the ongoing Black Sea conflict severely disrupting exports from Ukraine, a major pillar of global wheat supply, leading to a jaw-dropping 40% hike in international wheat prices in 2024. But that's just the wheat itself. In tandem, the costs of ancillary yet essential components like fuel, labor, and packaging materials have surged. The price hikes are weaving through every stage of the bread supply chain. From hauling wheat to milling facilities, converting it into flour, to baking the bread and finally delivering it to stores, each phase is experiencing cost escalations that are subsequently passed down to consumers. Bread prices have already climbed 15% compared to last year, with forecasts predicting a further 20 to 25% rise by the time December rolls around. That loaf of bread you effortlessly tossed into your cart for $2 just last year. Brace yourself to part with around $4 or even more. Opting for store brands won't offer much respite, as they too bear the brunt of these increases, mirroring the premium brands. The price pinch extends beyond just loaves. It encompasses prepackaged rolls, convenient bagels, and even flatbreads, all set to follow this trend of inflation. But this isn't merely about your breakfast toast or the classic peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Bread holds a fundamental place in food security. It fills bellies, enhances meals, and delivers vital nutrients like carbohydrates, B vitamins, and iron. For many families, especially those working to make ends meet, the prospect of rising bread prices heralds a winter that could be particularly severe and hunger-prone. So, what's the takeaway in these turbulent times? Consumers must be proactive. Whether you're considering alternative baking options at home, seeking out discount deals, or stockpiling differently, now is the time to strategize. Navigating the rising costs of essential grocery items during the winter months requires foresight and adaptability. With staples like coffee and bread transforming into luxury items, consumers face the dilemma of maintaining their quality of life amid financial strain. This new economic landscape challenges us to rethink our shopping habits and prioritize long-term planning. Whether it involves stockpiling select goods, opting for store brands, or exploring DIY alternatives, these strategies can mitigate the impact of escalating prices on your household budget. Ultimately, being informed and prepared will not only help manage immediate expenses, but also foster resilience in the face of future market fluctuations.